the third time. All right. Okay, so basically, I'm a part of a book club here, and what this topic is about is the challenges and wins of telling your story. So, we're going to talk about that, okay? So, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Janarda, for those who do not know me. I am Janarda Makeupson. I am the author of Breaking Cycles, the story of breaking cycles of abuse. Breaking Cycles is a nonfiction, and it's about certain episodes of my life, not my entire life. So some of the episodes of my life I actually am displaying in this book. Well, some things that I went through as far as like domestic violence and certain periods of my life and things that led up to that, which abuse comes in cycles sometimes, most of the time. So it could be family cycles, it could be just your own cycles. So that's kind of what the book is about. And basically, it's about the struggles of writing a nonfiction book. Another little bit about myself is, of course, I'm a lover of God, a lover of my partner, my fiance, and I'm a mother to my adult children, and I'm a friend to those who know me and who I became friends with. My occupation is I'm a real estate broker, project manager, and property manager, pretty much all things real estate. But I also have a passion. So my passion, because a passion is different than what your occupation is, my passion is helping other women, men, and children, and sharing my story and my experiences in hopes of helping someone, that might go through the similar things as I have gone through. So that's just a little bit about myself. And I know, someone that, and you may know someone that has been affected by domestic violence, or maybe you've even been affected yourself. But what this is about is the challenges and wins of telling your story. So let's talk about that. So when you're writing a nonfiction book, the challenges of that. Well, the challenges is you're opening up your life. You're opening up yourself. And for me, I'm a private person a little bit. So I don't have a lot of friends, and I don't, tell my business a lot and stuff like that. So even while I was going through different episodes of my life, I was very private about those things. Everybody only knew, oh, there's Janada, happy Janada. Oh, she has a nice house. She's throwing a get together at Christmas and stuff like that. So they never knew some of the things that I actually went through personally. So for me to open up and tell things about my life was extremely challenging. And it was also challenging, like I said, for one, because I'm not secretive, but I'm very private. For two is people that are involved. So I have to protect those who are involved in my story. I still love my certain people that play different positions, and then those who I don't have love for anymore, I also have forgiven. So at the same time, writing a nonfiction story and a story about your life, you actually have to open up and open up yourself, but you have to protect those that are involved. So it was challenging for me, and it was really challenging because when I first started writing my book, the very first time I wrote my book was all the way back in 2011. And in 2011, I wrote it, and I don't know if I was 100% prepared to write the book. And I was asking people, should I write this book? Should I put it out? And everybody, I was managing my daughter's career at the time. So everyone was like, I don't think that would be a good idea. Maybe not. So I still wrote it. And then I ended up losing my book actually in storage. I went to Atlanta, left my stuff there, and I lost my book in storage. So I said, okay, that was a little discouraging, but I said, forget the book right now. Maybe it's just not time. So then I picked it up again. It was just like something that always was on my mind. I even had dreams and visions about it. And I feel like those visions was from God. Sometimes it's good to tell your story because it can help others. So I went on and decided to write it again. And that was a few years ago. But what I noticed this time when I was writing my book, I was extremely passionate. Like I was writing it and I was crying while I was writing it. So I started to notice, like, I literally wrote the book one day and I had to get up walk away and say, I'm done. I can't do this no more today. Because what I realized is that in writing the book, it was actually healing. So I was healing myself while I was writing the book, and it was like I was letting all of that go. And I was like, wow, as I was writing it, I was like, I've been through all of that. Like, that's extremely a lot for somebody so young to go through, you know. So I think that it actually was a wake up call, and so that was very challenging for me. And I said, I don't know if I don't know if I want to write this book. So I gave it a break a couple days, and then I started writing it again. Well, the first time I wrote it, and what am I say? Released it. It was really not the time to release it. I think I released it. I wrote it in too much passion. Sometimes you have to write something and then you have to go back in and you have to rewrite it. So I just wrote it and put it out. And then after I read it, I realized, nah, I really shouldn't have wrote it that way. So although everyone said I did a great job and I had a lot of great reviews and everything, I just I wasn't 100% happy with it because it was written in too much emotions, basically. So I said, you know what, I got to go back in and change it. Now, another thing that was challenging is that the people that were involved, when they read the book, they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you wrote this book. I mean, I had a lot of backlash about it. And reality was, I really did not write the book for anyone but myself and for the other women that may have been going through the same thing as me. I didn't think too much about other people, although one of the challenges is that, like I said, it's people involved. So I went to those people before I even released the book, and I actually asked permission. Hey, you know, I'm writing this book. I just want to give you heads up. Is it okay? I want you to look at it, make sure it looks okay. So when they actually looked at it, they said, okay, yeah, I have no problem. Write the book. Do what you got to do. And so that's what I did. But once it was released, there was a lot of backlash. Like, I didn't want nothing bad. I didn't write it in no bad, ill intentions or anything for anyone. It was really just for other people, like I said. So that was really challenging, having to go through that with people that you know, and backlash, and people like, are you serious? Why would you tell, you know, the world this or whatever, you know? So, and then, oh, you would just write a book for money. Well, believe it or not, I didn't even really think about money at all when I wrote the book. I promise, like, when after I wrote the book and people was like, oh, you're gonna get rich, and I was like, get rich. It didn't even really dawn on me that authors actually, people write books for a living and are rich and like living in how. I didn't do it for that. So it was kind of like the backlash of people saying that I wrote the book for money. It was 1000% not about money, like, at all. So through all of the backlash, I actually pulled the book off the shelf, like I said, and I was like, I got to give all of this a break because I wasn't prepared for negativity. I did get a lot of positive input, and a lot of people saying that they are so proud of me, and women on my Facebook page that I never knew. It was strangers more than anything, like DMing me, like, oh my God, you're helping me so much. I've been through this, I've been through that. I was actually consoling and talking to and counseling different women. So that was the wins. But I think that the whole part of it that was more challenging, like I said, was just dealing with people that you actually know, dealing with yourself and all of that. So now that I'm 1000% healed, I said, you know, I gave it a few years. I took it off the shelf, even though it kind of was still floating around. And I rewrote it all the way around. And now I'm ready. I rewrote the book and I'm super proud of it. It's everything that, you know, that it should be. And now I'm ready for the world, you know, to read it. So those are the challenges of writing a book that's kind of about your life, nonfiction book. And the wins is that you're helping others. You're able to release and let all of that go. My advice would be, if you ever do something like that, just be sure to once you write it in passion, then rewrite it and get somebody to edit it. And then just make sure that you want everything to come out the way that you wrote it the first time. I would say write it a couple of times just to be sure. But yeah, so that's my story. And I want you guys all to know, go and get my book, or you can even get it on Kindle. And it's actually cheaper on Kindle, or you can get the hardback, or you can even get the paperback. And it's called Breaking Cycles: The Story of Breaking Cycles of Abuse. And I will also have another two more books, but they're not gonna be the same books. It's just gonna be like kind of like a series. So I'm looking forward to that as well. All right. Well, thank you guys all for joining. And do you have any questions or anything? You said yes, I did, and we talked about how we missed. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's fantastic, and we do have to pray for each other. Yep. I like that, Teresa. All right. Well, thank you guys all for coming on. This was my first live, and I was a little unprepared, so I do appreciate your patience. All right. Have a great day. Bye.